plans on going live today, but I literally just opened my email and we have to talk about this. An IG coach that I know and adore, she's actually really, really sweet, and I know her personally, just posted something that is 100% incorrect. Something that is utter and total business garbage. I'm not going to call her out because I adore her, and this was probably true, like, misinformation on her part. But we have to talk about it. Basically, what she said is that if you're not getting DMs in your business, you will not be able to sell. 100% utter garbage. And let me explain before you lose your mind about this. Of course, getting DMs is important. Of course, you want to start having connections with people. Of course, for big picture items, for your expensive high caliber containers, you got to talk to people. But she literally said that if you're not getting DMs in your business, you will not be able to sell. And that's shit. That's a complete and utter piece of misinformation. And I want to call that out. Most of my stuff, because my business is set up in a way that this is unnecessary, requires get a message. I hate when I get a phone call while I'm doing this. I literally have my phone on Do Not Disturb. We're going to pretend like that didn't just happen. I hope you guys can hear me. Can somebody let me know in the comments that you can still hear me? Because I just got a phone call in the middle of this and I had my... Okay. So what I want to point out, because I think this gives people so much misinformation and anxiety about their business, that if people aren't messaging you, perfect, thank you. If like thinking that if people aren't messaging you, you will not have a successful business. And that's just simply not true. Yes, you want messages from people who want to join your high caliber containers. And I do get messages all day, every day from people, but not all of them are for sales. That's the other piece of that. Your DMs should not be for the purpose of sales. That's probably an unpopular opinion in the online selling business, but your DMs should be for connection. Sales happen because of connection. Sales don't happen because somebody sent you a message. Because if you're using that message as a means to now like talk that person into a sale, you're approaching your business all wrong. But the bigger piece of misinformation that she put out there that I'm very sad actually that thousands and thousands and thousands of people who follow her are now going to read was the implication that your business isn't viable unless you can sell somebody in the DMs. Listen, the majority of my business happens organically when I'm not even paying attention. It happens while I'm, grocery shopping. It happens while I'm making dinner for the kids. It happens while I'm walking the dog. It happens while I'm asleep. Like literally things are just rolling and people are just buying and things are just happening because I have set up a business that allows for that. I have set up a offer suite that allows for that. I have set up things that are just out there for my audience to purchase. So the big thing I want you to know, if you happen to be on this person's email list and you happen to have gotten this email today, the message is bullshit. And I can say that not just as a person who has a small following, I have a relatively very small following, but also as a person who has made millions online without having to have conversations with the majority of the people. I love conversations with people. My DMs are always open. Please message me. I want to chat with you, but I don't want to chat with you because I'm trying to sell you something. I want to chat with you because I want to know you, because I want to know the people that are in my world. I want to have a connection to make sure that I'm the right person to help you. That's what I want. If you then want to ask me about an offer, I will happily give you all the answers. But anyone who's ever DM'd me knows that I'm not going to actively sell to you in the DMs. I'm not going to do that because it feels weird. It feels yuck. If you want something, please come ask me. I'll tell you all about it. And I'm so happy to send you a link, but I'm not going to use a DM to actively try to sell you into anything. But the other piece of it is this understanding this presumption that people who have large followings are really good at business. I happen to know who this particular person is. Again, I know this person personally, and I happen to know that this person makes significantly less money than I do in my business. Again, how much money you make does not validate how good you are at what you do. She's amazing and I adore her, but it's a different business model and a different business strategy. It is the assumption that the goal is to convince people in DMs and that you do that from a volume perspective if you're functioning at this place where this particular person functions, right? Like in her mind, it is in order to make a lot of money, I need a lot of people in my DMs so I can actively sell to these people. My business approach is totally different. In order to make a lot of money, I have to form a lot of connection with my audience. I want to know who they are. I want to have an aligned audience. I literally don't care how big it is. I want these people to feel my genuine concern and my genuine integrity and my genuine purpose for being here so I can have an impact on these people through my brand, and the people who resonate with that are going to come buy what they need to buy. They're two very different business models. Both work. So my point with going live, and the reason I felt compelled to I have to go live because I literally just saw this email, is that I need you to understand that it isn't true, these absolutes that people are telling you, that if you're not getting DMs, you will never be able to sell. It's nonsense. This is the same thing as coaches 3 years ago telling you if you are not doing discovery calls, you'll never be able to sell. I never do discovery calls on the business side. Never is probably the wrong word. Every so often I have a person who's like, I would like to talk to you about this first. Cool, let's do it. But I don't schedule discovery calls. On the nutrition side, the only reason I do them, I've told you guys this before, is to make sure that clinically we align, that I'm the right person to help these people. That's the only reason. And even on those calls, I'm not going to sell to you. I will never sell to you on a discovery call. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions to make sure we're a good fit. You can run your business whichever way you want. You just have to understand that there isn't a one cookie cutter approach that is going to make it work or not work. So whenever someone tells you, if you don't do this, you'll never have a business, or if you don't do this the way I do it, you'll never have a business, that's when you need to start to pay attention, because that should be a big freaking red flag. You can do your business whichever way you want. You don't have to have a lot of DMs to have a successful business. You don't have to have a large following to have a successful business. You can build a 7-figure brand, without having a large following. My IG growth is so flippin' stagnant. Sometimes it's the most annoying thing in the world. Why is it this way? I don't know. Let's ask IG why my IG growth is what it is. But it doesn't matter because my business growth is continuously upward. This person's business has massive IG growth. She's an IG coach. She has massive IG growth. I love that for her. But to then turn that around and say that massive interaction on IG is the connector to whether or not your business is going to work, it's just simply an incorrect blanket statement that's going to make a lot of people really anxious about their Instagram. You don't have to have a large Instagram. I made multiple 6 figures my very first year in business with less than 3,000 people on Instagram. And most of those were leftover people from when I was just simply posting about my own running and nutrition journey. You don't need a large following. You don't have to have conversations in the DMs. You can 100% build a brand where people know who you are. They are comfortable with who you are. They understand who you are. And you just point them in the direction of where they can find what they need, and they just buy. And they just buy while you're in the shower, or while you're getting groceries, or while you're having a nap. And your business can grow that way. It doesn't have to be, it only works if you get people into the DMs. And for most of you, that should be a massive relief, because most of you probably don't want to feel like you have to convince people in the DMs. So hopefully that helped some of you, because literally I saw that email and I was like, what the no, we got to address this, because this is going to make a bunch of people feel a bunch of different ways that you don't need to feel. You don't have to be anxious about your business. Build a brand, be approachable, be relatable, have people understand you, have people know what you're about, be here for people. Let them know your DMs are open if they want to talk. But also then in the DMs, have really good integrity. And if they just want to talk, it's okay to talk. It's okay to have your boundaries for how much you'll talk. I have a whole script on that. If you guys need scripts for that, I have scripts for all of that stuff that I'm so happy to send you for free. Just shoot me a DM and I'll send them to you. Be okay to have that conversation though. You're connecting with humans. That's the goal. Don't think every time somebody jumps in your DMs, this is now a lesson or a Pavlov's dog's reaction for you to go ahead and sell them on something. Sometimes the DMs are literally just to connect to people. And sometimes a lot of times the selling happens without ever jumping into a single DM.